A healthier way of dining is making its way to the UNLV campus.
And with this past December's Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, questions are being raised about the procedures that are currently in place if there ever were a shooter on campus.
Later on, we will be speaking to Michael Curtis, president of the Black Student Organization, who is hosting an event entitled Sex in the Dark. All this and more on Studio G.
Good afternoon and welcome to Studio G. I'm Jamie Seymour.
And I'm Maria Landeros. With the weather warming up, students are looking to get more in shape and eat healthier. Reporter Heather Feyerberger has more.
Most college students just grab the first snack they see, but with summer right around the corner, most are trying to eat healthier. Both professionals and students agree that eating healthy is a choice.
What it boils down to is just the students and their personal choices.
Healthy eating is a choice, and I think oftentimes we get stuck into a rut. We choose the same foods.
Some students may think eating healthy on campus isn't possible, but they do have options.
What I have here in front of me, these are items that are located in the pod, and they're on-the-go foods. At the dining commons, we have what's called the to-go box. Great for those individuals that want more fruits and vegetables in their diet, maybe that like to snack on those. If you're making some lifestyle choices to decrease snacking on potato chips, for example, is to have those foods available.
There's about 2 or 3 options, I'd say, with the pod and the student union, as well as all the fruits and the fresh vegetables you can get from the pod. There is a number of amounts of healthy eating options. And as I mentioned before, it all comes down to just the students and they're making good and better choices.
For Studio G, I'm Heather Feyerberger.
Healthy eating events are being held on campus throughout the month, including Dining with a Dietitian in the Dining Commons on March 13th.
Campus shootings have happened in Texas, Virginia, and recently in Connecticut. Even though UNLV has not experienced a campus shooting, UNLV police still have a plan in place if a gunman were to come on campus. UNLV police hosted their Rebel Roundtable. The theme was When a Gunman Rampages. According to UNLV police, the odds that a campus may experience a campus shooting is like being struck by lightning, and UNLV law enforcement wanted to make sure students have a plan just in case this circumstance happens.
Well, the goal of today's training session was to reach out to the community to let them know some things that they should be considering if they should find themselves in an active shooter situation.
Also at the roundtable were officers from Metro Police. According to the Metro, if a shooting ever does happen at UNLV, they, along with the whole police community from Henderson to North Las Vegas, would converge to the campus.
We are here to support their police department and give them a force multiplier, so we will be able to assist in clearing the rest of the campus, clearing buildings, making sure that the tactics and training are the exact same as what the UNLV police do.
For more information to see what the proper plans are if a shooter enters the campus, go to police.unlv.edu. Another brown bag lecture series took place at UNLV, where students took an afternoon off to learn a little about porn. Reporter Trinity Chavez has the details.
Today, Dr. Lynn Comella will be discussing feminist porn and how to make it in the market. People of all ages gathered at UNLV for the Gender and Sexuality Brown Bag Lecture Series. The series was hosted by Dr. Lynn Comella, who wants to bring awareness to feminist porn. She says feminist porn challenges specific stereotypes and gives viewers an alternative porn selection. Mainstream porn degrades women all too often and is often a fictional depiction of what reality really is. She explains how feminist porn is an alternative way to represent sex in a way that challenges sexual and gender norms, which are often taken for granted. This is Trinity Chavez for Studio G.
For more information about upcoming Brown Bag Lecture Series, you can visit the UNLV website.
A new boutique fitness studio, UNLV Training Studios, is teaming up with Dress for Success of Southern Nevada to hold a clothing drive for women who may not have the means of purchasing business attire. The event is held to instill confidence in women and help them dress for success and find employment. If you would like to donate any lightly used business attire, visit our website.
Soon after the reassignment of Superintendent Dwight D. Jones, CCSD has decided upon rezoning 462 students to a new elementary school beginning in the 2013 to 2014 school year. The decision comes after many complaints of overcrowding in the elementary schools. The following elementary school will be affected: Southwest Elementary Schools, Reese, Batterman, Rogers, Hayes, Bendorf, Kim, and Roger Bryan.
When we return from the break, Alex will bring you all your Rebel sports.
And coming up, Stephen Marsh will have your updates on local and national weather.
HIV testing is now available at the Student Health Center inside the Student Recreation and Wellness Building. Testing is free to all students that have paid their health fee and is available on a walk-in basis only. No needles are used and the results are ready the same day. For more information, contact the Student Health Center at 702-895-3370 or email them at shc@unlv.edu. You must have a Rebel card to get tested, and results are confidential.
It's convenience. It saves me a lot of money because I'm on a meal plan basically, and it saves me time because I don't have to walk across the street. It saves me gas because I don't have to drive anywhere to eat, and especially being a lazy college student, I can just walk right over here when I'm hungry and not have to wait that much longer to get food.
In other news, a 50 to 60 foot deep hole swallowed a Florida home's bedroom Thursday night, killing one resident. Rescue workers had to end the search for the body of Jeff Bush Saturday because of the still dangerous conditions.
The family's being well taken care of. We're looking after all their needs. We'll be looking towards providing some housing on an interim basis, and then also looking for some permanent solutions for them. We believe they've been very pleased with all of the valuables we've been able to recover for them.
Authorities also condemned a house next door as the massive 20-foot wide sinkhole continues expanding.
Israeli Defense Force soldiers are traveling the country to educate others about what they do. Former Israeli Defense Force soldiers are letting their voices be heard across college campuses in America through the Israeli Soldier Stories program. IDF soldiers believe there have been a lot of misconceptions in the media about the way they operate and what their goals are.
Many people think that it's a brutal army that kills people, and it's not. It's not true. It's a very moral army that value people's lives, and it's an army that deals with the education and help the society and the community in Israel.
UNLV students got a chance to hear two IDF soldiers, Adam and Kinneret, tell their story about what it was like serving in combat missions in Gaza, Lebanon, and the West Bank.
It was great. I mean, having Adam and Kinneret actually tell their personal stories of how they preserve not just the state of Israel, but also protecting the Gazan residents as well as the residents in the West Bank is just, I think it's really important and needs to be spoken.
I want students to know that, first of all, Israel is a great country, and we want them to stay with the message of peace.
The tour is sponsored by Stand With Us, an international program that educates citizens from all backgrounds about the Arab-Israeli conflict in the Middle East.
We give not only the Jewish students a place to stand up and a place that they can speak up for the truth, the real values of the Israeli army a lot of times will not match up to what you see in the media, and that's unfortunate.
To hear from more Israeli Defense Force soldiers, visit standwithus.com.
New TSA regulations could mean that honey sticks, pocket knives, and golf clubs will be allowed to fly. The Transportation Security Administration has implemented new regulations when flying. For the first time since 9/11, you will now be able to board an airplane with a pocket knife. The TSA will now allow small knives less than 2.36 inches long and a half an inch wide to be carried on board. The new change in security measures have caused quite an uproar amongst travelers and flight attendants.
some type of argument could escalate. Guess what? Someone pulls out a knife, then I'm here. I have to defend myself and make sure all the other passengers are safe.
Other items which are now being allowed include hockey sticks, pool cues, and golf clubs. The TSA says this is a part of an overall risk-based security approach, which allows transportation security officers to better focus their efforts on finding higher threat items such as explosives. Shoes will still have to be removed and screened. Box cutters are not allowed, and liquids exceeding 3.4 ounces are still not permitted.
I'd actually prefer if they would change the rules on the liquids, because I've lost too many things. In fact, on the way here, they had a little jar of peanut butter, and I had no idea that counted as a liquid in a gel. So I'd actually rather see them change the rules on that than even the small knives and the golf clubs.
The new changes will go into effect on April 25, 2013.
A trial has been set for 50-year-old Brenda Stokes, who pleaded not guilty to the December murder of 10-year-old Jade Morrison, the daughter of Stokes' former boyfriend. The trial has been set for July 8th. Stokes has also pleaded guilty to the December 21st incident where she attacked a Bellagio hotel co-worker with the razor blade. We will continue to update you on this case as more information is available.
The suspect in a New York hit-and-run accident is finally in custody. Julio Acevedo was arrested on Wednesday in Pennsylvania after surrendering to authorities. Police believed him to be the driver of the BMW that slammed into a delivery car that was taking Nachman and Razy Glauber to a hospital. After Razy, 7 months pregnant, did not feel well. Both expecting parents were killed in the crash on Sunday, and the unborn child was delivered via emergency C-section, but later passed away on Monday. How Acevedo came into possession of the BMW is still under investigation. Acevedo will remain in custody in Pennsylvania to await extradition proceedings. When we return from the break, we will have Alex Bull with this week's sports report.
Where is the moment we needed the most? You kick up the leaves and the magic is lost. Tell me your blue skies fade to gray. Tell me your passion's gone away, and I don't need no carrying on. You stand in the line just to hit a new low. You're faking a smile with the coffee to go. And tell me your life's been way offline. Time, and I don't need no carrying on, 'cause you had a bad day.
I'd like to thank the members of the UNLV community that have started something.
I became a big sister to make an impact in a child's life.
I became a big brother to get involved in my community.
4 hours a month, you can make a big difference in the life of a child.
I became a big sister because I wanted to start something.
Contact Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southern Nevada and start something today.
Welcome to this week's sports with me, Alex Bull. Rory McIlroy this week walked off the golf course after firstly saying that he was in a bad state of mind, but then changed his story to saying it was problems with his wisdom tooth.
Some people have the, I guess, the pleasure of making mistakes in private. You know, most of my mistakes are in the public eye, so you know it is what it is, and you know I regret what I did, but you know it's over now and it won't happen again.
To NBA news, the Miami Heat continued their fine form of recent weeks by ousting the Orlando Magic. Up by 20 midway through the third quarter, the Heat soon found themselves in a spot of bother as the Magic chipped away their lead. With 12 seconds left in the fourth quarter, the Heat down by 1. LeBron James drove the lane with the winning basket. Heat won 97-96. In another comeback game, the Los Angeles Lakers came back from 25 points to beat the New Orleans Hornets 108-102. Kobe Bryant scored 42 on the night with help from Dwight Howard, 20 and 15. The Lakers outscored the Hornets 33-9 in the fourth quarter. Other results: Boston Celtics stunned Indiana Pacers 83-81. New York Knicks beat Detroit Pistons 87-77. And San Antonio Spurs beat Chicago Bulls 100-83. Well, the Running Rebels are back in action this Saturday as they look to finish their regular season in style. This marks the last official game for the senior players Anthony Marshall, Quintel Thomas and Justin Hawkins. The first 500 Rebel fans get a free white t-shirt. Fans are encouraged to wear all white as senior night is classed as whiteout. While in women's basketball, Rajon Veron and Kelly Thompson combined for 53 points last night to lead UNLV to a 70-60 road win at Boise State, 70-60. Veron not only tied her career high with 26 points in the win, she also set a new Mountain West freshman record with 19 rebounds. Thompson added 27 points, which moved her third place all-time at UNLV, scoring 1,822 points. The Lady Rebs conclude their regular season this Saturday at Fresno State. Other Rebel sports this week sees the men's tennis team in action today versus Ball State at 2 p.m. They return to the court Friday versus conference foe Air Force before concluding Saturday versus UC Irvine. Men's baseball sees them in a 3-game series against Pac-12 giants Stanford on the 8th, 9th and 10th. Women's softball teams travel to Long Beach, California to take on UC Santa Barbara, North Dakota State, Virginia Tech and UCLA. That's all the sports I have for you today. Now back to the desk.
Las Vegas is gearing up for NASCAR weekend. Last night, NASCAR pit crews paraded down the strip, allowing race fans a closer look and feel for the weekend-long events. If you are looking to satisfy your need for speed and competition, you can purchase tickets by visiting lvms.com or by calling 1-800-644-4444.
And I'm going to tell you how NASCAR weekend, the weather's looking for that coming up in the weather forecast as I have you look at your weather forecast. But first, let's go and talk about what's going on this lovely Thursday. 61 degrees is the temperature outside. The winds out of the south-southwest at 9 miles per hour. Things are going to change, though. 24 hours from now, not going to be in the 60s. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you can see your almanac, 61 degrees. Your average this time of year is 68 degrees. Not going to be anywhere near average tomorrow. We're going to be only in the 50s, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Current weather across 47 degrees, 36 in Mammoth, Lake Tahoe at 32 degrees. They're already starting to get snow up there in Lake Tahoe. That's the system that's going to be coming through here tomorrow, which is what we're going to start with. You can see we have an area of low pressure that has moved its way through, so a lot of clouds. You can see some scattered rain and snow out there in the west coast. That is going to be developing over the next 24 hours, and we're going to see some pretty good chance of some rain here in some areas around town. Winter storm Saturn, that's been a problem all week long in the Midwest, causing snow and other storm issues there, has now moved its way into New York. It's been lingering, though, and it's probably going to linger for about the next 48 hours or so. So that storm is just kind of not going away. It's just going to kind of linger there on the East Coast there. So they're going to have to deal with some snow for a few more days. Your temperatures across the country, Midland, 73 degrees. Los Angeles, 60 degrees. Phoenix, 76 degrees. And a little bit closer to home, you'll see more of what we're talking about when it comes to the rain and snow. Right now, you see some storm cells starting to develop there. And out of the frame there, you'll see that you see some rain and other storm stuff developing. That is going to just continue to develop over the next 12, 24 hours. And by this time tomorrow, you should see some wet streets. Tomorrow, as you see, rain across all of southern Nevada with 58 in Las Vegas, 59 in Nellis, Mercury 51, Mammoth at 52. And your 7-day forecast, of course, all important NASCAR weekend. We'll have to get through tomorrow with some rain, 58 degrees, but then things will dry back up for Saturday at 61 degrees. And then for the big Cobalt Tools 400 race on Sunday out at the Speedway, temps will be in the low 60s. And then by late next week, we could be flirting with 80-degree temperatures. So that's something to look forward to. That's all the weather I have for you this afternoon. Now let's send it back to the desk.
An inter-volunteer was mauled by a 4-year-old lion cat, Heaven, a private wildlife facility in Dunlap, California. The 26-year-old female volunteer was attacked and fatally injured when she entered the cat's enclosure.
This is Kuzi, a North African lion.
A lion shot dead Wednesday afternoon.
Female volunteer intern
entered the lion's enclosure where she was attacked and fatally injured. The lion was shot and killed per our safety protocols. Our thoughts and prayers go out to our friend and family, and to her family at this time and this trying time.
The 24-year-old volunteer has been identified as Diana Hansen from Washington State. Her Facebook page shows her pictured with large cats. Her father released a statement last night saying, in part, Diana was so excited at working in Cat Haven and living in California. Her favorites were the tiger and the lion, Couscous, who killed her today.
We're moving over to the African lions, and I'm going into the den.
Jennifer Michaels, also known as Jungle Jenny, got an up-close view of the lion while getting a tour of the animal sanctuary called Cat Haven in Central California.
I didn't see any type of aggressive behavior or anything that I needed to be worried about.
Cat Haven is a 100-acre wooded sanctuary, home to some of the rarest cats in the world, including lions, tigers, and leopards. It describes itself as an innovative park dedicated to the preservation of wild cats. 5-year-old Couscous came to the sanctuary as a cub. Founder Dale Anderson said this species of lion no longer exists in the wild.
The North Africans were killed off in the wild about the 1920s.
Yeah.
So all the ones you see are in captivity.
As for the victim, Diana Hansen, it's not clear exactly how she died. But her father says big cats were her passion, writing, "We will miss you so much, but I know that you will be happy. For now you truly are in the eternal Cat Haven."
Our hearts and prayers go out to the family of the victim.
On a lighter note, members of an Alabama community band together and go bald in support of a young boy, Austin Franklin, who was recently diagnosed with a brain tumor.
You know, I thought I never would have my head shaved, but I can't think of a better reason.
Austin Franklin's grandfather, Earl Moore, shed his locks as he sat alongside Austin's classmates, teachers, and coaches, all shaving their heads out of love.
When I was a little kid like that, I don't know if I'd had my head shaved on purpose like that, but it's just a humbling experience for me. When I first walked into the gym, I just wanted to cry.
Students and community members filled the Central High School gym as more than 30 people bared it all for Austin. The ages ranged from kindergarten to seniors, and nearly a dozen coaches and teachers.
I would do anything for him, and it felt good to see teachers and my friends to come out and support him.
Austin's classmate Austin Brewer says it has been an emotional few weeks having their friend in the hospital.
It's been rough because we haven't got to see him in a while, and it's been pretty hard.
He's my brother's age, so obviously it hit me really hard because it could have been my brother just as easily.
Student organizer Haley Archer says this is just one way to show how much Austin Franklin means to the Wildcat family.
I bet he's terrified, but I just really wanted him to be able to feel the love from all of us.
The community raised about $1,500 to help Austin's family with medical expenses. Don't touch that mouse. Studio G will be right back.
Hi, my name is Ricardo and I work for the Animal Foundation. On a daily basis, we take in around 190 abandoned or unwanted animals. You can make a difference and be part of the solution by adopting an animal or logging on to animalfoundation.com and seeing what we have available.
Welcome to the Art Department at UNLV, where students can express their creative side. You can also check out the current exhibits at the Grant Hall Gallery, Jesse Metcalf Gallery, and Donna Beam Gallery of Fine Art, featuring recent artwork displays by students, staff, and local artists. Whether your forte is taking photos, painting a picture, or carving a sculpture, make sure to check out the UNLV Art Department located in the Alta Ham Fine Arts Building.
Hi, welcome. I am Heather Fairbrother. I'm joined by Michael Curtis. He is the Black Student Organization president. Thank you so much for joining us, Michael.
No problem.
Now, what is the purpose of your organization?
The Black Student Organization was founded in 2007 with the main goal of bringing together the Black community here on campus and not only helping the campus community in recognizing this small minority here, but also helping our community as a whole.
Awesome. And so through the work of your organization, what sort of goals are you looking to achieve, both maybe on campus and in the community?
In the community, we like to give back a lot. We do a lot of like drives, like we just did a drive in February during Black History Month for like food and clothing and things like that. We like to get out and work in the community, and we work at the homeless shelter and things like that. And then here on campus, we like to bring awareness of the problems and situations that are going on. So,
awesome. I mean, that sounds like a great organization. What are some of the upcoming events that your organization's putting on?
Actually, tonight in Student Union 211 at 7 o'clock, we're hosting an event called Sex in the Dark. And also we have our third meeting, general meeting this month, March 19th in Student Union 208 at 5 p.m.
Now, Sex in the Dark, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
It is an interesting event that my vice president came up with. It's how can I say, an interactive way for students to learn about sex in a nice way. The room is set in complete darkness, and we have experts from the community coming in with PhDs and things like that, and they're coming in, and it's set in the darkness so people are able to answer their questions freely and openly without the fear of being judged by the other people in the room. It's going to be interesting. I ask everyone to come out and enjoy. It's going to be fun.
What gave you guys the idea to put on an event like this?
My vice president went to an HBCU, which is a historically black college, last year. And the BSU there, through a type of event like this, we're taking it a little bit further by asking people from the community to come in. We have representatives from Planned Parenthood and the Women's Center here coming in. Free condoms will be given away. Always practice safe sex. So we're taking it a step further by just not having in a room of students just ask random sex questions. We're actually bringing experts and doctors and things like that who can answer their questions correctly.
Now, if this takes on, is that something that maybe you could hold more events about and see if you can get more kids to participate?
Definitely. If it comes out from this event that the knowledge about sex is not enough here on campus, we'll do it more often. We're always here to help people learn and to understand what's going on.
Awesome. I mean, it sounds really interesting. Anything else that you can add to, about your organization, maybe anything we should know?
BSO is a small organization. BSO is short for Black Student Organization. We're a small organization, but we try to work really hard. We do one event, at least one event a month. In April, we have BSO Week. It's a whole week of events that we're throwing. We work really hard to make sure this campus community, that not only the Black community, but everyone is represented. In February, we did a collaborative effort with Hillel where we brought an Ethiopian Jewish person here to come and speak. Wow. It was a great event. You learn so much about counterculturalism and how culturalism is. So.
Awesome. Well, it seems like we're running out of time. So for my last question, just how do we get more information on your organization? How do we get a hold of anyone?
You can go to our BSO website, which is unlvbso.webs.com, or we have a Facebook page, which is facebook.com/BSO_UNLV.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much again, Michael, for joining us.
No problem. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. Now it's time to send it back over to Jamie and Maria at the desk.
And in entertainment news, Batman large icicles in the Bay Bridge are all making news. Take a look.
Take a look at this massive icicle in Canada. Instead of being the typical 3 inches or so, this thing is 3 stories tall. The icicle, or rather iceberg, formed on the side of an apartment building as snow melted off the roof. The fire department was worried the icicle would cause serious damage, so firefighters chopped it down. But not before it got its own Twitter handle, Giant Icicle. Forget Gotham, Batman is hard at work in the United Kingdom. Police in West Yorkshire released these pictures of the superhero, and that's not Robin with him. That's an alleged burglar. Batman rounded him up and brought him down to the precinct for booking. He's charged with fraud and handling stolen goods. No word on Batman's true identity.
Thank you all for joining us on our Thursday edition of Studio G. I'm Maria Landeros.
And I'm Jamie Seymour. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at UNLV Studio G.
Round, round, get around, I get around, yeah, get around, round, round,